We talked about design, delivering, and measuring, and a lot of what we've been discussing is about the workforce.
Right.
What would you say about the extended enterprise? Both, not only what we must do in the extended enterprise, but maybe what we ought to be doing.
Yeah. Well, I think that's, really sort of the big wave now is to think about, when we have those outsourcing relationships, when we have those subcontractors, when we have, our suppliers in the supply chain. These are all now, especially for the larger organizations, a huge risk for the fact that, if your brand is the one that carries the reputation. So, if your subcontractor does something wrong, while they may show up in the news, your brand quickly gets attached to it and tends to override whatever that brand is. And so when we think about how we extend, these values and these, sort of behavioral boundaries into the extended enterprise, we really have to think about how do we bring them into the fold, as employees. How do we not only, create content that's for them, but help them understand why it's important to us, as the other organization. Mm-hmm. So it's no longer just, sort of saying, hey, we're the bigger organization, or we're your customer, and therefore you have to do what we tell you to do. It's how do you influence? I think you mentioned earlier, how do we influence them to want to carry that flag for us?
Right.
And I think that's really the difficult job at hand, is that it's not just training and communication, but it's efforts around brand reputation, it's efforts around your corporate social responsibility efforts. All of these things sort of tie in to the greater sort of brand reputation that you're trying to build, and the fact that they're an intimate part of it, that these third parties are an intimate part of building that brand, that they're not just sort of a subcontractor and never really thought of. They're part of the family.
Right.